Hello and welcome to my next video, and I am cleaning up after my bunnies, which is quite obvious and probably going to be the title of the video. But yeah, this is how messy they get. They uh okay, so Chewy's the little white one. His name's Chewbacca. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before. The other one's Nibbler, the little black one that's in the corner back there. Nibbler's a bit smaller. They used to be bonded. They were bonded for about 3 months, and then they just started fighting one day. It was kind of gradual. Like, I noticed that they were nipping a little bit more. They would kind of like lose patience with each other, but I'd split them up and then they would be okay after. And there was one night where I went to visit a friend and I was gone like the whole night. And then when I came back, they had been major fighting, and that's when I separated them completely, like permanently, because I didn't let them together after that because it was just too stressful. Like, I was so scared. Poor Nibbler. I actually stayed up with him most of the night. Like, I stayed with him after I got home. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and I stayed with him till about maybe 3 in the morning just to make sure that he was okay. And I kind of soothed him and everything because he had quite a bit of little tufts of fur pulled out that were kind of scattered all over the place because Chewy's a bigger bunny, and I was just stressing out because I didn't want him to, die of shock because they're very delicate. So yeah, ever since that major scare, they've been separate ever since. And it's fine. Like, they get their socialization through the fence. Like, a lot of the times Chewy will stick his little nose through one of the squares, and then Nibbler will kind of wash his little nose, and then they kind of take turns bowing their heads, like kind of like they did when they were bonded. But they're doing it through the little squares in the fence. And it works, I guess, for them, because Chewy will actually run over and want to be near Nibbler. Like, they get their socialization that way. But as soon as you kind of like pick up one and put him in the other side, they're already territorial of their own sides. And if I were to take the fence out and, like, say, do a really good clean and get rid of their scent through the whole living room, and then put them together in the living room, I'm scared that they would eventually revert back to fighting again, because it only lasted 3 months the last time. It took me, I'd say, almost a year to bond them, to the point where I trusted leaving them alone together. And they would cuddle together, they'd lie together, they'd squish up against each other. They were full bonded. And then I had been working from home a lot, so I was always around. And then I started having to go back into the office. I couldn't work from home anymore. I was only working from home like 2 days out of the week. And I think that's what unbonded them, because they were alone too much and I wasn't around. So that's why I haven't been able to do it since either, because I can't work from home at all now because I have a different job. So I can't trust them alone. like, even if I did try the whole bonding process all over again, because it's quite the process, right? You gotta basically send them on a date together somewhere where neither of their scent is present. So I would have to like bring them in like the bathtub or somewhere that neither of them have been, just to let them focus on them each other rather than busy trying to guard their territory. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother. They seem happy having their division. I mean, I might get questions on the fence, but if I do, like, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's interested, but it's the cube shelving system. You get these like little round plastic things that you put in the corners and you build like a shelf out of squares, wire squares. So that's what I used to make my fence, because I was able to make it a little bit shorter. Like there's an overlap of one row down the center. That's just so I don't have to step as high when I'm going. It's also kind of floaty so that I can pick it up and sweep under it. But that also kind of makes it flimsy. That's why I put like the almost like triangle looking bits over top, just to give it more structure so that the bunnies can't kind of push it, because otherwise Chewy might just kind of like shove his nose into it and push it way too far over. It might, yeah. I think that's what I was having problems with before, which is why I put those like triangle. I mean, they're not triangle. They look like triangles, but they're just sideways squares. And then the corner, I put a diagonal square just to keep the corner from collapsing on itself. But I don't know if I need it now, because before it was super flimsy. But after I put up those like patch squares, the corner seems more structured. So I might try to take that away, but I'm not sure if I want to even bother. It's been working fine since. And then it's just attached to that shelf, and then it's attached to my desk. Nibbler, the little black one, he has access to the kitchen and then that side of the living room. And then in the far other side, like, of the living room, there's a couch, like, kind of way past Chewy. And it's got a fence in front of it because Nibbler actually ripped the seam of the couch cushion completely wide open, and the stuffing was kind of all exposed. And then he started digging into the corner and started pulling the stuffing out of the arm of the sofa. And yeah, that's why he's now off limits from the couch completely. They were marking it, like when the two of them were free roam together, they would try to like claim the couch, so they would pee on it. So I had those the puppy pads, like the ones that they're standing on right now. I had that on the couch. So basically the couch was kind of like a giant couch just for the bunnies. I never really sat on it because I was always on my computer chair. Because I was always on the computer doing something. Like if I'm not editing videos or, watching YouTube or, I don't know. I'm always on my computer anyway. So I actually just caged off the couch. So this summer, because right now it's still kind of winter out, there's a lot of ice around still, and people aren't really interested in buying furniture yet secondhand. But as soon as I can post it, I'm going to be putting it on like Facebook Marketplace, and I am selling my couch. And then that whole side of the living room, which is on the other side of that doorway, because you'll see me coming in and out of a doorway just beyond Chewy. And that's where the couch is. And it's taking up like a 6 foot by 3 foot section of the living room. And that's like a lot of space for something that you're just literally letting sit there doing nothing with it. So I want to put like a desk there, another computer chair, my easel, some more crafting supplies, my Cricut, my printer, because my Cricut and my printer are currently in my bedroom, which is kind of annoying to have to step over the bunny divide to go into the living room to turn on my printer or my Cricut, and then step back over the bunny divide, and then run whatever program that I need to on the computer, then step back over the bunny divide and go back. So you get it. It's a lot of stepping over the bunny divide. So at least this way, if everything is all in one spot where my couch is, it'll be nice. But yeah, I'm not too sure where I am at this point. I just realized that it looks like the screen is frozen, but it isn't. They're just very still. I was probably drying them. Unfortunately, PV Mart, the place I used to get their pellets from, is now closed down in where I live in Canada. So now I have to try to find somewhere else to get bunny pellets. Oh, and yes, if you've noticed, my pants are cut. They were normal pants. They were like leggings, like really cheap Walmart leggings that I just wear around the house. And Nibbler kept making holes in them. Like I'll be standing there, right where I am right now, and he keeps trying to pull the fur out of my slippers. And whenever I'm wearing pants, he makes holes in the pants. So I just cut them. I'm like, there's so many holes in my legs. I just cut them because he's a little brat. Also, I don't know if you notice, I am kind of walking weird. Like I kind of take like flat steps. Like I'm walking on ice kind of. But that's because my slippers have no like real support, and they're hard to walk in because they come off on the back because they're really loose on my feet. So if I take a normal step, usually I lose the slipper. So I just kind of like step very strange. But another thing about my bunnies is Chewy doesn't like to get brushed. So you can't see it much on camera because his fur is so light colored. But he's got all these little tufts on his back and near his bum that I can't get because he freaks out every time I try to like come near him with a comb or brush. I have that like fur buster comb or whatever it's called, where half of it has like rubber kind of halfway down the teeth of the comb. Yeah, he won't let me near him with that. I have a mitt that's more, I think, for dogs and cats. I can use that on Nibbler. Nibbler will let me. And Chewy, I get maybe 3 pets before he realizes what's going on and he takes off. See, this is what I mean about having to step over the bunny divide. It's a lot of always stepping over the bunny divide. And fun fact, Chewy I got near my city. He was just out of town, so he's from Manitoba. And Nibbler, little black one, my ex found him in Grand Forks in the shelter. Not sure how much anybody knows, but I'm separated and my ex was American. He's alive. He's American. And he found Nibbler at a shelter in Grand Forks. So when they first started fighting, I think was right after we had separated. And I just kind of found it ironic how, like, there's like a fence at the border, kind of like with Trump's fence with the Mexican border. It's like a national divide because Chewy's Canadian and Nibbler's American, and they sorry, I don't know why I find this so funny. But yeah, it's like they grab their little bunny flag. Chewy needs a little flag with his little floppy ears, and he's planted it in the ground on this side of on this side of the living room. Okay. Anyway, Chewy has access to my bedroom, which is just beyond there where you see that laundry basket of laundry that I haven't folded and put away yet. And the camera tripod is sitting in the bathroom right now. So that's why it's like looking through a doorway right now. So Chewy does have more roaming room than just that little strip of his half of the living room. And then same thing with Nibbler. Nibbler has the kitchen, which is, it's not a really large kitchen, but he has more room than just his half of the living room too. So initially, I had the living room divide with the shelf kind of turned inward, and there was only like a small portion where I was stepping over. The fence wasn't quite that long before, but Chewy couldn't see into the kitchen, and he was constantly like digging and digging and digging, trying to get under the shelf because he wanted to try to see into the kitchen, and he couldn't. And I just wanted him to be able to see into the kitchen. Also, don't look at my hair. If you got this far, then that's kind of amazing that you listened to me babble for this long. I haven't washed my hair yet because I figured, you know what? I'm going to clean. I'm going to get dirty picking up, bunny poops. And I figured I'm going to wash my hair later. So just don't look at my hair. Also, I left that pile of paper there because Chewy likes to, like, shred it. They like to destroy things, and he likes ripping that paper. I guess it's satisfying for him. So that's why I'm not throwing it out. You're wondering why I'm not fully cleaning. And that they're actually really good because they don't pee anywhere. They leave their little Cocoa Puff poops around. I can usually just suck them up with the Dyson, but they don't pee, which is kind of nice. they pee only in their litter boxes, so they're really good for that. So these puppy pee mats are moored for their traction so that they can kind of run without like skidding or sliding, you know, and their feet kind of, because bunnies don't have paw pads like dogs and cats. They just have fur. So yeah, I didn't want to disturb him, and he ends up getting up, and I'm thinking like, oh no, sorry, BB. Like I didn't want to make him get up. Like he was so comfortable, and there's kind of a cold draft coming under that door, and I think he likes things a little bit more on the cooler side. So that's why I don't push his tray all the way up. And then this is just Leia, where she sits on my desk all the time. And then Chewy. And that's it for my video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.